How you all doing, guys? Brandon here. Welcome back to Retro Dodo. We have another retro handheld that's launched out of China recently, and it's from the big dogs ANBERNIC. If you're new to the retro handheld world, ANBERNIC are the big guys over in China, basically making some of the best retro handhelds out there, like this, the RG280V, which is currently our favorite handheld of 2020 so far. And they have now launched a miniature pocket Game Boy, which I'm going to call it. It looks like a mini Game Boy, comes with a little screen, it's very pocket friendly, and it can emulate everything up to N64. So I have it here, I have yet to unbox it, so let's jump in and see what the RG280V is all about. So let's jump right in. ANBERNIC, you know, this is quite classic packaging for ANBERNIC. It's got the specs on the side, an illustration, and then it basically tells you what's in the box. Nothing really special with this packaging, you know, it just holds your handheld. Okay, wow. First impressions, that is quite big. I was expecting this to be a lot smaller than it is. There's your USB-C charging cable and a user manual in there, which you will not need. And here it is. Here is, I went for the silver version because the gold looks a bit too Famicom-like for me, and I wanted to go for something a bit original. Ooh, okay, wow. So that is actually quite a chunky handheld. I'll turn it on quickly while we look at the, you know, the exterior. So you've got your D-pad, quite a large D-pad. On the front there, you have your A, B, X, Y buttons, your start, select, a 2.8-inch display. Okay, with a glass cover, which is quite nice. On top, you've got 4 shoulder buttons. Now, I saw in some of these videos, these shoulder buttons I've never seen before. The L1 and R2 almost wrap around the back of the, sorry, the L1 and the R1 wrap around the back of the R2 and L2 triggers. You've got your headphone jack and your USB-C charging up the top. On the left-hand side, your volume buttons, your SD card for you to install your ROMs, and then on the right-hand side, a reset button and an on and off button. And it looks like your speaker grill up the back. This has got some weight to it. This is a very weighty handheld, which is quite nice. And in my hand, that is an actual sizable handheld. Now, when I first saw it, I was like, this is going to be way too small to play PlayStation 1 games, Game Boy games, but now that it's in my hands, I've got quite large hands, so, you know, for kids this is going to be brilliant, and for adults it's, you know, it's quite easy to get to all of the shoulder buttons. The thickness is quite nice. I like the weight, it kind of gives it a premium feel, and the build quality, you know, it's ANBERNIC. ANBERNIC are by far the best retro handheld manufacturers in China. Their products are very well made, and this is a product that you can buy also like all of their other products, like the RG280, the 350M. They'll last for years. This is something you buy and keep for years on end to play your retro games, and from what I can tell on the RG280V here, it's the same. This thing is very well built. Now the menu, it's, you know, it's standard user interface on here throughout the RG series. It can play Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Mega Drive, SNES, NES, PlayStation 1, you know, Neo Geo. There's no N64 emulator on here straight out of the box, so you might need to install that by yourself. And this one didn't come preloaded with games. I know a lot of you asked that, but this one here, there is no pre-installed games on the RG280V. So if you wanted that, unfortunately, you're gonna have to do that yourself. So what I do with these handhelds is I take you around the aesthetic of it, what I think of it, and then we jump into some emulation testing. So I'm gonna jump into a few now and show you around and give you my first impressions on how well this handheld actually performs playing retro games. So let's jump in. So there you have a little look at some of the emulation that the RG280V can do. And I've reviewed many handhelds with the same chip as this, and I am confident that this can do everything well up to N64. PlayStation runs well, the 4:3 screen ratio is great for Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance, NES, SNES, Mega Drive runs really well. And admittedly, this is just a first impressions, but I am liking what I am seeing. Should you upgrade from the 351p? Absolutely not. It's a much smaller screen, you know, it's much more portable, but the RG351p is just an all-round better handheld. Here you have the 2.8-inch LCD display, and inside is a dual-core 1.0 gigahertz CPU, with 512 megabytes of RAM. So it is somewhat powerful. It's not mega specs at all like some of the $100 handhelds coming out now, but it's perfect for those smaller games and having that pocket power whenever you need it. There is a 2100 milliamp battery inside. They say 7 hours of gameplay, but from what I've experienced with ANBERNIC, that's probably a little less, coming in at around about 5, maybe 4 hours, which is still good from a handheld of this size. I'm loving it. Like any other ANBERNIC product, it is a stunning little handheld. It's durable, it feels great, and it feels like you're getting your money's worth. If you're new to this whole retro handheld scene, then you're probably wondering why the menus are a little weird, but trust me, Android handhelds, they age quite poorly, but these are something you can chuck in your wardrobe for years to come, opening up, and it will still be as powerful as the day you left it. These things are going to last a very long time, and they're gaining in popularity with a lot of us Western folk because it allows us to play our old school games on the go in a very cool little form factor. And this, playing Pokemon and Zelda, is absolutely brilliant, and I'm really liking the shoulder buttons. The shoulder buttons are incredibly clicky, they have very nice feedback, they sit quite close to the actual buttons inside, meaning you can press them quite quickly. The response rate is brilliant, and overall, my first impressions is this is probably a handheld to pick up if you haven't picked up any new ones in the last few months. I'm liking it. I didn't think I'd like it because I was worried of how small it is, but in my hand here you can see that this is quite a big handheld. It's big in its own way, like the screen and the whole like hand width size is quite nice, but it's the perfect size for chucking in your back pocket or your bag. Now the full review will be coming up on our website in the next few days, so I will be reviewing this, you know, all day tomorrow and all day the next day, so you will get a valid review over there. This is basically just an unboxing and first impressions, but I'm liking it. This could be the mini Game Boy we've all been waiting for while we wait for Nintendo to possibly do it down the line, but I'm liking it. These vertical handhelds now, you know, they're impressing me. I didn't think I liked them. I prefer, you know, the RG351P by far. This is still my favorite handheld, but this, you know, for those of you that like the vertical aesthetic, yeah, it's probably worth picking up, in my honest opinion. So there you have it, a quick video today of the RG280V. If you like seeing news on retro handhelds and reviews, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.